He's got it, wants to throw. Wentz looks, pressure comes. Wentz hit, sack, back inside the 20. Aiden Hutchinson, that's number 2.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of The Big D, where we talk all things Detroit sports. This is my co-host, Ben. I'm Caleb. Ben, how are we doing, bro?
Dude, I am living the dream right now. Let me tell you.
Dude.
Michigan national champions, baby. We got the Detroit Lions division champs in the playoffs playing against Matthew Stafford, though. Kind of scary. Jared Goff revenge
Gonna be a
game,
wild
though,
game.
incoming. But, dude, we're living the dream right now. Red Wings are doing good, possibly going to the game on Thursday. Don't know for sure yet. Chance.
We might be.
Watching the Pistons absolutely get cooked by the Kings right now because
They're
my
blowing
God,
this game right now.
we were up by like 22 at one point in this game, and now we're down like 8 with 6 minutes to go.
Dogs.
5 with 6 minutes to go. Never mind, they called a foul. I'm going to cry myself to sleep. There will be live reactions during this podcast of me watching this Pistons game.
Overall, if you were to rate your overall fandom happiness out of 10 right now, what would you rate it?
Even with the Pistons, it's an 8. It's got to be like an 8. Maybe
I'm thinking 8. I'm thinking 8. Maybe 9. Maybe that's selfish too with Michigan just winning.
Yeah,
it's probably pretty selfish.
It's with Michigan. With Michigan,
and the Lions in the playoffs. Come on, it should be 10.
Yeah, it's a 10. Lions are division champs, and Michigan won the Natty. Yeah, it's got to be a 10. Even though the Pistons are horrendous.
Bro, we can't even go.
I'll go 9.9 because of the Pistons. I'll do that. 9.9.
I'll go 9.5 because of the Pistons and some of these Detroit injuries we're going to talk about.
Oh, God, yeah. You want to just get right into the Detroit injuries?
So, Motor City Dan Campbell, love him to death, would run through 17,000 brick walls for him. Same thing with Brad Holmes. Maybe 4,000 for Brad Holmes, but same. Still. They decided to make the decision to play the starters last Sunday versus the Vikings. And I can understand from one lens, okay, we want to stay hot, want to stay unified as a unit going into this tough playoff game against the Rams. So I think, honestly, if we're looking from an unbiased perspective here, the Rams are one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. And they might be the best team in the NFC right now to beat. It's weird to say that, but they're up there.
I don't know.
Especially
the 49ers are still a thing.
True. Just saying. Tough team. Going to be a tough game. But now we go into it without two of our key players. One of our special teams guys, been there the whole season, Ben Nails. And then our tight end, man. The stud of the offense this year. The surprise, the insane draft pick from Brad there, Sam Laporta. So Khalif Raymond and Sam Laporta did unfortunately leave the Minnesota Vikings game with knee injuries. Raymond, it's likely he will not be ready. Same thing with Laporta. I'll talk more about that in a second. But if Raymond doesn't play, Donovan Peoples-Jones will be returning punts and kicks in his place. And he has decent stats doing that, so I'm not too worried about him. Cool to see a Michigan guy, too, getting out there. But here's what I'll read you what exactly Dan Campbell's quote here about them, about Laporta and Raymond. He says, Laporta has an outside shot right now. We'll know a lot more in 48 hours with him. That was this morning, so 24 hours since you guys see this video. He's got an outside shot, and then he also says, I think Khalif is in that boat, maybe a little bit farther away than Laporta, but it's very much, we're talking in days and not weeks. So that's a good thing. It's likely that they both should be back by the divisional.
Definitely for how
Definitely
bad
Laporta should be back.
Sam Laporta's injury looked, too. Sam Laporta's injury looked horrible. I thought it was a blown ACL. I thought it was ACL, MCL. I thought it was too,
but then he walked off the field, which you can walk with a torn ACL. but he started walking better and was improving. So that made me give me hope that it was at most a sprain. But honestly, the word that came out of my mouth was hyperextension. So I was right there.
Yeah, because
with
it's
that.
hyperextension with a bone bruise for Sam Laporta.
Correct.
I know Khalif Raymond's is in the injury,
and we don't know.
Do you know exactly what it was?
I don't think we know exactly what Khalif's is. I think the sprain or hyperextension is still in play there. But we don't know too much about that just yet. There wasn't a lot about that. I think he is kind of brushed under the rug with Laporta as being a little bit more important in terms of the offense, at least. And so that's kind of what's been focused on by reporters and whatnot. But also, let's talk about Laporta's out, right? That leaves Brock Wright. Well, Brock Wright hasn't played the last 3 weeks because of a hip injury. Brock Wright was okay last year. He didn't get a lot of the targets, as many targets as Laporta's getting this year, which is understandable. He's more of a blocking guy, but he can be solid. He can sit in lanes and stuff and take up space, and he's pretty sure-handed. So it'll be nice to have him. But there is reports that he is coming back and will be ready to play for this wild card game versus the Rams. Yeah, so he's going to be back after missing 3 weeks, and he's likely to take Laporta's spot. And yeah, 2 more here for the Lions. Jamison Williams, he did not play last game due to an ankle injury that then translated to an illness. They didn't really specify exactly what it was, but Wednesday practice hurt his ankle or was out because of his ankle, and then Thursday practice he was sick or had an illness, they say, and so it is also likely that he will not play or be ready to play against the Rams. Or sorry, he will be likely to play against the Rams on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to have that extra piece in there. And finally, we got James Houston, the other big piece on defense we're still missing. Still rehabbing that ankle injury. Dan seemed pretty doubtful of James as they're trying to stay careful with him in that ankle injury. Been on the IR since this whole week 2, week 3, something like that. And so they're just trying to take it slow with him. And Dan said about this week he's not as optimistic about him playing as some of the other guys. So it's likely he'll be out as well. So that leaves James Houston out, Khalif Raymond out, and Sam Laporta out. I think everyone else will be back. I think so. I think Decker will be fully healthy again. And I think Aleem McNeil will be fully healthy now. And same with Benito Jones. So some of those pieces on defense should be getting back to being healthy and ready to rock and roll, baby, on Sunday night.
Yep. So quick recap. Yeah. Just Sam Laporta. I think Sam Laporta dresses, but I don't think he plays right away. But if we start going down, I think that's if he's able to play, that's what I think we do. If he's able to play, he dresses, but he doesn't start.
Okay.
I think Brock Wright will start.
I can see that.
Or even James Mitchell. I think James Mitchell, he made some good grabs. But yeah, Jamison Williams should be back. Obviously, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is back. We saw him in the last game against the Vikings. Ended up getting an interception in that game.
And he didn't play the full game either. He came in spurts, but I think he'll be ready to go full-time versus the Rams
I didn't
on Sunday
expect him
night.
to play a lot of snaps, so I think his snap count will go up. I think, honestly, you will see more looks where Vildor is out and it's C.J. Kirby, Iffy, Branch, those 4 guys are out there with Jerry Jacobs. But honestly, who knows what's gonna happen. But DPJ, I think, is a solid replacement for Khalif Raymond. Both of them, I think. DPJ is not as big as a slot guy as Khalif Raymond is, but I still think he's going to be able to fill that role. And with Jamison Williams coming back, he'll be able to fill that role too. Because
exactly,
Jamison Williams should replace him in the wide receiver, whereas DPJ will replace him in the special teams, which I'm fine with. I've watched Donovan Peoples-Jones return punts, kicks, watched him in Michigan. He was good with the Browns. So his entire career has been good. But yeah, the tight end situation is where I'm worried about, really. I'm not worried about the receivers at all. I'm worried about the tight end position. So I don't know. We'll see though. I think we'll get into the Lions game more, which I'll talk about what I was going to talk about later. But yeah, I think that's all the Lions injuries we have for now.
Yep. All right. 2 key Pistons injuries. One insanely key guy, another guy starter who's been solid this year. But let's start off right there. Headlines, right? Cade Cunningham. He left the game during the Nuggets game with a knee injury. They're calling it a knee strain, and he will be reevaluated 7 to 10 days. That was a few days ago, so we're looking at 5 to 7 days kind of now. And you know who's taking his place in the starting lineup? We talk about him a lot on this podcast. It's Killian Hayes. Now, this is the first game he started since Cade went down. And, this game we're talking about, there's the game currently on right now. Actually, I don't know what the score is right now. We're down by a lot now.
We're done. Yeah,
it's done. Okay. Yeah, down 17 looks like. But from looking at the stats and kind of just watching it, it didn't look like Killian played a negative way for us. Like, it didn't look like it was bad having him out there. The plus minus could say one thing, but just seeing he had a good amount of assists, didn't force a lot of bad shots. So it's cool to see him maybe get a little bit more of a key role will help him. I don't know. We'll see. But as long as he's not forcing shots, I feel like that's one big thing. He came in, he knew he had limited minutes, and he just tried to do some stupid garbage shots, and it just wasn't working and made him look really, really bad. So hopefully having this more solidified role for the time being will really help him kind of establish himself as a better piece for this Pistons offense. And they looked good in the first quarter.
Yeah, they looked real good in the first quarter. Then the Kings ended up going on like a 36-5 run at one point in this game, and yeah, pretty bad.
Yeah.
So
the under's not hitting either, so that's a pain.
Anyway, we just have to start the new losing streak, man. We broke it, so we start a new one. The next game is against the Spurs, though.
Yeah,
there's a chance.
What is that? A combined 10 wins between the two teams?
No, less than that. Spurs only have 5. I'm pretty sure.
I thought they had 2 more for some reason.
No, I think they have 5.
They're 5-30. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so combined 8 wins.
8 wins. Jeez Louise.
That might be the highest game out of all time.
I think the Pistons will be favored in that game. I really do, because of the home.
What'd you say? Sorry.
I wonder what ticket prices will be.
$4.
I don't know, dude. Victor might be a little.
That's true.
A little enticing.
I don't know. We saw Carolina Panthers tickets get down to 47 cents this year, so who knows what's going to happen with those ticket prices. It's ridiculous.
That's crazy. That's unreal. Another Piston that's injured is Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart. He's suffering from a toe sprain. I didn't even know you could do that, but he'll be reevaluated in a few days. In the meantime, Kevin Knox has taken his place the past 6 games. And in that stretch, he's averaged 11.3 points, 2 rebounds, 1.3 assists, and 29% from 3. So there will be games you watch Kevin Knox. He'll look like freaking KD out there. And then there are games where he looks like Kevin Knox again. The Kevin Knox who came out of college and couldn't shoot a 3. He still likes to shoot threes. He just doesn't do a very good job of making them all the time. Shooting 29% in this stretch. Honestly, that's been a Pistons story all year, man. We don't have shooters. So,
yeah.
Kevin Knox is our shooter. I guess that's just what we're going to have to deal with.
Good old Alec Burks and Kevin Knox are shooters.
Go Lions. Go Lions. Go Lions. Go Lions.
All right, moving on.
What are we doing, man?
Moving on from the Pistons. We have some Red Wings injuries. Dylan Larkin's a little banged up, but he's still playing right now. In the most recent game, he went out for a little bit after a hit. Looked like his back was injured again, but then he ended up coming back in the second period or third period. I don't remember. I think it was first period when he got injured. So he ended up coming back in the second period. Wasn't out for too long, so that's good. Billy Huso was still out with a lower body injury, who was our starting goalie when he was playing. It was him, then Lyon, and then Reimer. Lyon's the starting going right now, and he's been doing incredible. I've been watching the Red Wings games, and my God, has he been playing incredible.
He's been looking fire.
Yeah, but when Billy Huso was playing, he went 9-5-2 with an 89.3 save percentage. It was like 3.53 goals per game or something like that he was giving up. So very high mark there. He was put on IR on December 20th. There is no update on him yet. So don't know when he is expected to be back. Another guy is Klim Kostin. Might have butchered that, but it's fine. Upper body injury. He was placed on the IR December 19th. No updates on him either, really, for his return. He didn't have a huge role anyway. Like he played a decent amount, but not like a whole bunch. He only had 2 goals, 1 assist on 19 shots on goal. And he only played 66 total minutes in the games he played. And then the last guy who's been out since October 9th with upper body injury. It's a long-term injury, not expected to play again this season. It's Matt Luff. 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists, 19 games played with 46 minutes. So he wasn't a huge role either. I still think this Red Wings team is really good. We just completed the California sweep, which is the 3rd time we have done it in franchise history. Did it once in 2008, and then I believe the other time was 94. So completed the California sweep. We've been playing really, really good lately. I think we're on a 4-game winning streak as of today. Next game is Thursday, and then I think it's Thursday, Saturday this week for the Red Wings games.
Thursday versus Edmonton. Might be going on the game. We'll see.
Yes. Got to see some Connor McDavid. I mean, some Alex DeBrincat and Dylan Larkin.
Yeah. That's going to be sick.
But yeah, no, that's all the Detroit injuries that we have now. Obviously, the Tigers might have some injuries still, but it's off season for them, so not going to get into those at all. But yeah, just quick little recap.
It's also January.
Yeah, exactly. So quick little recap of the injuries. Brock Wright. Wait, not Brock Wright. My bad. Sam Laporta, knee injury. Khalif Raymond, knee injury. Brock Wright, hip injury, but expected to play. Jamison Williams, missed last game, but expected to play this game with ankle/illness. James Houston still rehabbing his ankle injury. Not optimistic about him playing against the Rams on Sunday night. Cade Cunningham, probably at least out for another week with a knee strain. Beef Stew, toe sprain. He's going to be reevaluated.
Which is wild.
Yeah. Dylan Larkin, banged up a little bit, but still playing. Ville Husso, lower body. Klim Kostin, upper body. And Matt Luff, upper body. So that's really all the Red Wings injuries right now. So, I mean, not Red Wings. Detroit sports injuries right now. So, yeah. Honestly, not horrible in my opinion. Could be much worse. We've seen it much worse in Detroit sports. We've gotten to the end of the season for the Lions, and the list is this long on how many injuries we have, and it's 12 of our starters. So
yeah,
it's good to see. So, well, it's
this is depressing. Can we talk about something exciting?
But yeah, let's talk about something exciting. You know what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about the Michigan Wolverines.
It's great
going into Houston,
Michigan Wolverines,
Washington for the national championship, baby. God, it feels so good.
We're number 1 in the nation.
Who's got it better than us?
No one.
Nobody.
Did you see Chrysler Arena after
Oh,
the
dude,
game?
it erupted. It was so good. Did you see what came videos of just a little bit ago, I think it was, and it was at the big, I think it was at the Big House or was at their practice field, one of the two, and it was a whole bunch of fans, and it was JJ McCarthy, Jim Harbaugh, all these guys speaking, and it was just JJ McCarthy gets up there, everybody starts chanting JJ can't even speak at this point because everybody chanting. So then he finally starts talking again, and everybody starts chanting 1 more year, and then JJ's just living in the moment. Which,
dude, he might.
The way he reacted, man, he could stay. If Harbaugh stays, I could see McCarthy staying another year. I honestly could.
I think so too.
We'll see what happens. I think our pass game is going to be a little more heavy next year too.
I hope so. That's one of the. Yeah.
But
so I do want to touch on that. Slight negative here. J.J. McCarthy is a 5-star high school athlete. And there were times in that game where I felt like we could have used his arm more. Now, obviously, I look like an idiot saying that we won by 21 points. And it wasn't really that close coming to the end of the game. But like in second quarter and beginning of the second half, when we were only up a touchdown, like I thought there was third downs where we could have used him more, and not just through screens or not just through underneath. There was a nice play where he dropped back, and it was third down and long, and he dropped back, and nothing was open, so he scrambled for 15 yards, 10, 20 yards. And I'm like, he can do that. Like, we got to trust him a little bit more, and maybe next year's his year if he stays. If I'm J.J. McCarthy, if I'm already making probably about as much money as I would make in the NFL right now with his NIL. I'm sure he's got a lot of NIL. He just won the national championship. If Jim Harbaugh stays, I'm staying. I'm staying if I'm him because of the QB like class this year. Next year he could be a top 5 pick if he stays and balls out, which we know he can. He just doesn't get the option because we have the 2 best running backs in the country, and the best O-line in the country.
Yeah.
And the best defense in the country.
And the thing is, too, is you look at Michigan games this year, if you look at the box scores, 80% of the games, JJ did not play the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So, like, his stats are just done there. Like, 80% of the games, JJ McCarthy just did not play the fourth quarter. So, like, you got a guy who we've seen been able to pass the ball. Like, everybody's saying JJ won't be able to do anything. Okay, this year against Ohio State, yes, it was a lot of run game. Go to last year, we couldn't run at the beginning of that game, and JJ just dominated that passing game. Like, that team just dominated. And Michigan has a good passing game. But why pass when you can just run the ball down everybody's throat?
I completely understand. But I feel like there was a stretch there where I was like,
Oh, no, 100%. I was yelling at my TV to pass the ball.
Trust
and then
him,
we
bro.
go up.
Trust him.
Yeah, like, but no.
I get it. I mean, it ended up working out. It's been the game plan all year, and trust the defense, and that's exactly what we did. And came with a dominating win.
The run game, we had 303 rushing yards.
Yeah.
And let's see, it was. Why am I? Oh, there we go. Sorry, I was on Washington stats. I don't want to be Washington stats. Blake Corum, 21 carries, 134 yards, 6.4 average with 2 touchdowns. Ended up winning offensive MVP for the national championship. Deserves it. 100% deserves it. So Blake Corum finishes his Michigan career, winning the national championship, breaking records.
Greatest Michigan running back of all time. Yeah. And it's not close.
Easily. No. I mean, Donovan Edwards in this game carried the first quarter. Donovan Edwards, 6 carries, 104 yards, 17.3 average with 2 touchdowns. His first 2 carries of the game went for like 82 yards combined.
That's crazy. That was nice. That bounce out run was sick. I mean,
it was insane.
If I have one complaint about this team, about this game, go to third down efficiency.
Yeah. Yep.
We were 1 for 10 on third downs. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes we just need to trust JJ to, if we have 10 yards to go, trust him to throw a 10-yard pass, man. Trust our wideouts. Some of our guys have made some of the most insane catches I've ever seen in my life. Like that Colston Loveland catch coming across the middle of the field, going up over his body, then running for 20 yards. I was like, what? And then go back to last week against Alabama, that Roman Wilson catch. Like, what? Like, these guys are so sure-handed that we can trust them a little bit.
Insane. The thing is, too, is this entire... I'd never looked at, the time of possession stats or any, I thought we dominated time of possession. Honestly did. We lost in the time of possession category.
It's pretty. I would say it's even.
It's even. It's 30 minutes 44 seconds to 29 minutes 16 seconds. So it's pretty even. Technically,
Like,
we
you can't really get
lost.
more even than that.
I thought
Yeah.
we dominated this game in time of possession, but completely wrong.
I just think
Michael
like
Penix.
we either had quick hitters or we just like we had quick hitting drives or we just like went 3 and out.
Yeah, like we had no drives like last a long time. I feel like besides I can't even say besides the last drive. I mean like the last drive of the game because we just knelt the ball and then we had the interception return for like 81 yards to like the 6-yard line or whatever. So we scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
So like we really didn't have any long lasting drives. But yeah, Michigan's defense held Michael Penix to his worst game this year. Worst game. 27 for 51, 255 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions.
Bro threw 51 passes and only had 250 yards.
Yeah. Yeah. If you would have told me, yes, I know Michigan's defense has been
It's a
really,
5-yard
really good
average.
this year. Really, really good this year. If you would have told me would have held Michael Penix to under 300 passing yards, I would have said you were crazy. My
Dude, it
parlay
was
say you're
unreal to
crazy.
watch. Unreal.
But
Everyone's parlay shot because of the Michigan
Yeah.
defense, and everyone deserves it because they've been playing this way the whole year, haven't got really the recognition that they deserve, and they finally got it. Like
Yeah.
you can't say anything about it now.
you
Like
can't
they
say
just held the
anything
most
about- if
dominant
you-
offense in the country to 250 passing yards and 1 touchdown.
If someone tells me that Michigan like had a cakewalk schedule, bro, 4 of the last 5 games this season, Penn State, Ohio State, well, then Iowa in the Big Ten Championship. Forgot about that one. Iowa, who's good defense, but that's it.
Whatever.
Alabama
That's still a solid team.
and Washington.
Yeah. Now you can't really debate it. I mean, you can't.
And if I hear one person that says we have a cakewalk schedule next year, I will debate
No,
that. We
I don't
play-
think. I
we
honestly
play
don't think
Texas,
anyone's saying that next year.
Washington, Ohio State, Oregon, USC. If we go undefeated next year too, up until like through the
Just give
regular
us the
season,
ring.
give us the ring. Because my God,
This Big Ten's gonna be wild next year. I don't even know what's gonna happen.
I don't know either. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah. Be interested to see how USC does next year not having Caleb Williams, because without Caleb Williams this year, they would have probably won 3 games.
Yeah, 100%.
The
The
team's
thing is,
not
too,
good.
it's going to be interesting to see what the playoffs even are next year because it's 12-team playoffs
Yeah.
next year. It's going to be very interesting with the college football layout next year, like what's going to happen. You could see Tulane playing Alabama in the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird next year. But now, final thoughts on Michigan season. Great. I love opening up
been a
ESPN
ride, man.
to just Michigan national championships popping up right away. You type in U of M football
On
and
Google.
it's just firework on Google.
And
And there's
it's
just
blue and
fireworks
gold
popping on
fireworks.
the
Amazing
screen.
blue
It is
fireworks.
great.
It's so sick.
Living life.
Yeah. I'm going to talk
It's
about the
nice.
Michigan game a little bit later too, but we'll get there when we
Okay.
get there.
It is. It's nice to finally be able to see a team I cheer for win a championship.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. Like,
Lions never did it. Red Wings haven't done it in a while. I mean, the
I'm not gonna
Tigers did
lie.
it. When did the Tigers last do it? Was it 06? Or no, we lost the 06
The
series,
Tigers?
didn't we?
No.
Or did we win it? Or am I drawing a blank?
the Tigers haven't been since what, 89, 90?
We've been, we haven't won.
Correct. It was
Yeah,
12
because we
went
lost
and
in
lost
06, I'm
because
guessing.
of the Giants.
Maybe, yeah,
That was 12.
we got swept. Oh my God. Okay, leave that. But like Pistons, no, not since I've been alive.
2004? Pistons was 04? Yeah. So that was my lifetime.
The year I was born.
That was the year you were born. Yeah. So
Right before I was born, the Pistons won. And that was the last championship that Detroit sports has had.
or
Besides
UM,
like Michigan hockey,
You got to let
maybe
Michigan State.
maybe
You got Michigan
water
State March
polo.
Madness in there too.
Yeah, there's that, but I'm talking like pro sports and college football and college basketball.
Michigan almost had that college basketball win versus Villanova, but Villanova was just
I'm just so
literally
happy.
on another
I don't even
level.
know what to say. I'm on another level right now. I don't even know what to say. Like, whew.
We're going to jump back to the Michigan game in a second once I start talking about the Lions. Well, you'll see how I connect it in a little bit. But
Okay.
The Lions, man, we are facing the Los Angeles Rams. Guess where NFL put us? Sunday night freaking football. Prime time probably will be the most watched game of the first round. I honestly think it will be. It being Sunday night.
Yeah. Most watched
I think they anticipate that.
round.
I originally would have said Dolphins Chiefs, but that's the Peacock game or whatever. Or is it Peacock?
Yeah, I think
or is
so.
it? It's Peacock, isn't
Peacock.
it? Yeah, that's Peacock. It's the Peacock game, so that's not going to be it. But that game would be sick, honestly. Honestly, just quick NFL, like just not really anything sports related. The NFL script writers went kind of crazy this year. I'm not going to cap. The wild card games are insane. Like you got Mike McCarthy taking on his old team. Like you got Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins facing the Chiefs. Like, dude, there's so many wild games. And then you got the Bucks versus Eagles, which I think is a slept-on game because I think the Bucks are actually going to win that game, and people don't really realize that just yet. The Bucks have won like 5 of the last 6, and the Eagles have lost like 4 of the last 5 or something ridiculous.
I think it's 5 of the last 6.
But yeah, their script writers went wild with this one.
I mean, come on. This is scripted. You got Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns on the same side of the bracket as Baltimore. Yeah. You got them playing.
They got to win
the
one
Browns
game
win.
to face the Ravens.
Then you throw a flag because Taylor Decker didn't report. Cowboys win the game just so the Lions play Matthew Stafford and the Rams after the Lions get their first home. Come on.
Crazy.
Come on. This is scripted.
I mean, this NFC is going to be wild if you're a Lions fan. Like, you have a personal tie to, like, every single team you're going to play. Like, there's, like, a bad vendetta against every single team that we could possibly play.
We play the Rams. You got Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff revenge game. If we win, we either play the Packers or the Cowboys. Packers.
Yes.
Division rivals. Like, we hate them. Cowboys. Everything.
We should have won that game. We did win that game,
everything
bro.
goes wrong against the Cowboys. Everything. Just flags.
It's insane,
God.
dude.
Flags everywhere. We're about to win the game. Throw the flag. Holding. Illegal use of hands to the face. Illegal touching. Pick up the pass interference call. Sorry. Ranting a little bit too much.
Bro's going crazy right now.
Yeah. But it's a wild one.
Crazy. All right. So, real quick, I don't know how much sports media you listen to. I'm assuming it's a lot. I listen to a lot while I'm at work and stuff. A lot of ESPN, a lot of, Pat McAfee, First Take. Heck, sometimes I'll even turn on Undisputed. Call me crazy. Just because it's kind of funny sometimes. And oh my Lord, there's not a single person picking the Lions. Like, not a single person.
No.
Forget the Rams, like this Rams spread or anything. Forget that. Nothing to do with spread. Money lines only. Everyone and their mother's picking the Rams, bro. Everybody. I seriously, it was the same thing with Michigan, Alabama. It was the same thing with freaking even Michigan, Washington, I was hearing.
Yeah.
I'm hearing everybody pick against us, man. And part of me, loves it, thinks it's sick. And that's truly the part of me that understands that's cool to be the underdog, even though we're not based on Vegas. But there's also a little part of me that's like, dude, give us some recognition, right? And I'm just saying that because of everything that we've seen recently with the U of M team, and and with like the Lions versus the Cowboys, that was always, go Cowboys, whatever. But at this point, I think we can look each other in the eye and say, this one freaking scares me. Like,
Yeah.
and it is because of one reason and one reason only. Our cornerbacks are probably like, I don't even know what to compare them to. Like, I can't go down any farther.
No.
I seriously think
saw
Will Johnson and Mike Samerstill could start for the Lions right now.
Oh, yeah. No. 100%. Like, yeah.
Like, I'm serious.
I saw a stat, and it was ranking, like, 100. It was, like, ranking 100 quarterbacks. And it was, like, one of those, like, God tier, good, or, like, star, good, mediocre.
Oh, yeah, like tier
bad,
rankings.
really bad. Or it might even just been, like, 1, 2 through 10. It was something. It was, like, one of those boards. Brian Branch was the only Lions corner on this entire board, and he was, like, in the middle of all the corners in the NFL. He's a rookie, and he's like a slot corner / safety.
He barely
he's not
plays
even a
corner.
true corner.
It's bad. Like it is atrocious.
Honestly,
I have this
at this
graphic
point-
built. And I think I sent it to you like every week. It's I call it the Cam Sutton effect.
You might have.
And it's just the wide receiver one for each team that we play every week, and
Oh,
just their stats. And it is like it's literally like Madden numbers. It's like, what do you mean CeeDee Lamb had 200 freaking yards receiving? Like, what? That's not real. What do you mean Justin Jefferson had 180 back-to-back weeks against us? Like what? It's just unreal. Like, it's so true though. And if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm scared. Like, the pressure now is like kind of on you. It's like you got to come out and be ready to frickin' slinger.
Yeah, and I mean, I love Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn, I think, writes
Honestly,
up a
he's
really
solid.
good defense. He's solid. We just don't have the cornerbacks to back this defense up.
It's like if you put like, it's like if you just sent Jim Harbaugh to Central Michigan and said, win a natty.
Yeah.
He's not going to do it. He needs a better roster. He needs better guys.
Urban Meyer to the Jags.
Yeah, kind of like that. I mean, frick Urban Meyer, honestly. That guy's a freaking tool. I kind of forgot about that mother guy, dude.
Yeah.
Where's he been?
Apparently, everybody at Michigan State wanted to hire him.
Yeah, that was.
They wanted more controversy there.
There's no way that was real.
But
yeah, I mean, honestly, I understand Stafford. I'm saying this. You might argue. I know you were before. I think Stafford's the second best quarterback the Lions will face this year. Lamar's number one, and my God, that was brutal. I still have PTSD. That was rough. And number two, I think Stafford. You could argue Dak, but honestly, in the last few weeks, it's been Stafford. He's been unreal.
I think you can easily argue Dak in there though. If I'm going based off of who I think should be like in the running for MVP, Lamar number one. Then you got like CMC, I think should be up there. Tyreek Hill, I think should be up there. But then I think Dak's top 5 for my MVP, 100%.
My MVP right now is CMC, and I can debate it forever because I think like it's such a quarterback award, and this year there's been like no like unreal quarterbacks. This is the year to give it to somebody else.
See, the thing is too is I was watching a sports show, and it was JJ Watt, and it was they were talking about the MVP this year, and they were talking about how in what year was it? 2014? JJ Watt had like 20 plus sacks, but Aaron Rodgers ended up winning the MVP, and JJ Watt got second place. It was somewhere around there. Don't remember exactly what year it was. JJ Watt goes, the most MVP should always go to a quarterback because he is the most valuable player on that team. It doesn't mean he's the best player in the league. It means he's the most valuable player in the league. And honestly, yes, CMC's really, really good. But with the weapons that that 49ers teams has to begin with, I don't think he's the most valuable player in the league. I think that Lamar is really high up there.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So I was listening to J.J. Watt because J.J. Watt was the best player in the NFL that year, but he was not the most valuable player. So listening to him talk
totally
about
understand.
it, and definitely since he was the one that got second place, I really do believe that. I can see why it's a quarterback award.
Yeah, you always see what Barry Sanders says too, right? Barry Sanders in 1997 ran for 2,000 yards, had 11 rushing touchdowns, 3 receiving, so 14 touchdowns, almost 2,400 scrimmage yards, and he got co-MVP with Brett Favre. Like, it's never going to a running back ever again. Like, it's never. Like, that was the last. Like,
and
it's got to be a quarterback.
He will say too.
I do.
He will say too that like he wasn't the most valuable player in the league. He was like I don't know. I haven't really seen Barry Sanders talk about it much, but like the one time I think I did remember him talking about it, he said he was probably up there for the best player in the league that year, which he was, but he wasn't the most valuable, which is completely understandable. Like the best player in the league is not always going to be the MVP because he's not the most valuable.
Yeah,
so
I get it. Just because like if you do like the replacement, like you throw Tyler Huntley in there instead of Lamar, they probably win like 4 games this year. But with Lamar in there, they're winning 13, 14. But if you throw like, what is Elijah Mitchell still the backup there at San Fran? So
I think so.
Then they probably still win 12 and 13 games. So
yeah, they still win.
I get it. I do get it. But despite that fact, the Rams have won 7 out of the last 8 games. That's scary. They have one of the best passing offenses in the league. That's scary for us to face. I don't know how we're going to defend. I really don't at this point. I think, and hear me out, I think we take a page out of the old U of M's defensive playbook. What Michigan did against Michael Penix, a great passing offense, probably one of the best in the league, was they played a little bit of matchup zone and then just sent pressure intermittently. You know, it wasn't like Alabama where we sent pressure every play. This was a little bit different. We'd mix it up. We'd go 4. We'd go 4 with like them crossing each other. We'd go 6, right? It was always kind of hidden. They never really knew what we were doing. And I think we just need to take a page out of that playbook and just either A, just send pressure all the time, right? Make him throw underneath. Let Cam Sutton get his freaking 15 tackles a game. Or you do with that intermittent pressure and trust the DBs a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think you go heavy pressure in this game. The Rams have a good offensive line, but I don't think that it's great. I think that if we send heavy pressure against this Rams team, we will be able to get their passing game down a lot. But, you see what Pukin can do in space. You see what Cooper Kupp can do in space. Like, both of these guys will make people miss. Kyron Williams at running back, scary.
Which we do a great job to stop running back, so I'm not too worried about that.
Either am I.
Honestly, dude, I think we need to shout out our middle linebackers, dude. They don't get talked about enough. Jack Campbell led the team in tackles last week. Anzalone was second. Like, these dudes have been dogs all season, man. I know Jack slowly got into that role, but since he's gotten it, man, he's been nails. Like, he's shooting run gaps.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this was such a big problem for us last year, and no one really talked about how much it's improved this year, how much Anzalone is like a top 15 middle linebacker, and Jack Campbell's top 40. I don't know.
Yeah.
I might just be throwing it out there, but like, I don't know.
I was looking, and it was the first. I've seen a lot of top 10 defensive rookie stuff lately. Finally saw one that Jack Campbell actually cracked the list. And he was at number 7 for top 10 defensive rookie. Number 7. honestly, I really don't know if he cracks the top 10. I don't know what other rookies are really doing. I think the obvious one um, was Jalen Carter.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, obvious. Um, then you have, oh, God, what is his name?
Will Anderson. Or Witherspoon.
Will Anderson. And Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Both those guys.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Brian
Even-
Branch was number 4 or 5, I
I was
think.
going to say, he's ahead of him too. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. But like Jack Campbell doesn't get talked about. Our middle linebackers, our entire linebackers don't get talked about enough. Like, we have some good I'm not going to say great, but we have some good, solid linebackers up in the middle right there. And honestly, we'll talk about this more when it gets close. But the draft, if we draft all corners and all defensive ends and just see who
won't be
makes the
mad.
team, I will not be mad at this point.
Honestly,
Like,
I
at all.
love like the middle of our defense, like D tackle, D line, mostly linebacker, safety. Like we're top tier. Just don't look at the outside. Like,
Just don't look at the outside.
Don't look at the corners.
Unless Brian Branch is sitting out there.
I almost wonder because like, okay, we talk a lot about how, you know, Detroit kind of has the reputation, and I don't know if it's actually real or not, but it feels like it, to not spend a lot of money and not take that chance. And to be frank, I'll say this: it's not always in our best interest to do that, right?
Yeah.
Even though I might want to, I want the Tigers to pick up the All-Star shortstop, right?
I mean, you saw it with the Lions last year. You saw us trade away DeAndre Swift. You saw us not sign Jamal Williams because we didn't want to pay him that much money, what he wanted. We saw us trade TJ Hawkinson away. But then we draft good guys to replace him, or we pick up good guys. Like, drafted Jahmyr Gibbs to replace DeAndre Swift. Amazing. Picked up David Montgomery instead of Jamal Williams. Honestly, better, in my opinion. Better. TJ Hawkinson picked up Sam Laporta instead because we didn't want to pay TJ Hawkinson. Sam Laporta, oh my God. Like, I don't know, man. It's insane.
Yeah. So kind of what I was getting at is that being where the Lions are right now, next year is the year. That means this offseason is the year to go pick up that piece. We flirted with it last year with CJ Gardner-Johnson. We have no clue how it's going to pay off, right?
I think we re-sign him. I think we
do too. But I think this is a year where you go grab a stud corner in free agency, right? You go grab a Jalen Johnson, right? You go grab a L'Jarius Sneed. Like,
you go grab a Brian Branch. You go grab one of those guys.
Yeah, like Stephon
Not Brian
Gilmore's
Branch,
available.
Brian
He's
Burns.
old,
Sorry, Brian Burns.
I understand what you said. But, like, I'm saying secondary, like, there's guys available. Like,
Oh,
I would love L'Jarius Sneed on this team would be unreal. A speed guy that can just clamp. That's what we need. So,
we'll see
draft
we'll
or
talk
look
more,
in free agency.
We'll talk more about free agency in the draft after the season.
Absolutely.
And when it starts to get to that point. See who we re-sign, see who we let go, because there's a lot of people that are on contract year. I shouldn't say a lot, but there's a good amount of people contract year this year. So
we'll get there.
I know
we have a whole summer to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get into that more.
We'll try to fit it in at some time. I know we're going to be talking about the Tigers World Series run, and the Pistons NBA Finals run, but like we'll fit it in somewhere, probably. So
Pistons NBA Finals run is wild.
Are we?
I can't believe
we're not
eliminated
from the playoffs yet. I think it's kind of
not
close.
Yet. Which is so sad.
Well, you just have to have like a 500 record to make the playoffs now. With this freaking play-in game. Whatever. Pistons aren't going to be anyways. So
you got anything else, man?
I don't, man. Red Wings play Thursday night. We might be attending the game. We'll see. Still trying to
get those, if we do, I'm sure
you will
see some stuff on Instagram.
Pistons play. Yes, Pistons will. If we go, we're taking a lot of pictures and doing some fun stuff. Pistons play Wednesday the 10th. Wednesday, the 10th. Is today Monday? No, today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
Jeez Louise. We usually record on Mondays, that's why. So Tuesday the 10th, Pistons play the Spurs. Toilet Bowl championship right there. Like we said, Thursday, Red Wings. From there, not really sure. So
No. Quick update, though, on the podcast.
I'm guessing the Pistons play again.
This is going to be an update. We might be changing some stuff around quickly.
Oh, yeah.
We might be making I shouldn't say we might. We are making a second channel. It's going to be Motown Madness, so it's going to be the same as our Instagram and TikTok handles. The content that will be over there is trivia. You will see trivia over there. This week, you will most likely, after it's made, see a video on our NFL playoff predictions. You're going to see more in-depth stats because we're going to try to stop just naming stats on the podcast. We're going to get more into talking back and forth with each other and stuff like that, which I think we did a lot better on this podcast. We didn't just name stats over and over.
I think so too. So look forward to some trivia over there. Look forward to some probably fun pick stuff over the weekend. Some deep dives. I know Ben's going to do a Red Wings deep dive. Might have a special guest do a Pistons deep dive. I'm ready to do a Tigers deep dive. Been working on it for a while now. And so look forward to those over there on another channel. We'll get that set up and everything. And
one thing too is it's mainly going to be Detroit sports, but we'll make our predictions for end of the year, probably NHL standings. If once NHL playoffs come around, we'll make NHL playoff, even if the Red Wings aren't in it. Hopefully we are. We'll do
we better.
NBA playoffs. It's going to be more predictions and stuff like that with that. And who knows, with the trivia, it might not be straight Detroit every single time. It will be league wide sometimes for all different sports. So expect
shorter videos
over there. Yep.
More specific stuff, and it'll be fun.
Yeah. So that's all we got for today.
That's it for me, man.
And we are out of here.
Peace.
Peace.
If you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bell on to never miss another video of ours. Check out our Instagram at motown.madness for daily posts and content all about Detroit sports. And check out our TikTok, motown.madness, for clips and highlights of each episode.